I spoke to Adam B. Coleman about this rift a bit earlier and began by asking him how the pair went from being as thick as thieves to exchanging barbs online.
Well, essentially, Elon is upset with Trump because of the big, beautiful bill. He felt that that bill was lacking in codifying all the cuts or the proposed cuts that DOGE had recommended. And because of this, he feels slighted. Elon has sacrificed his time, much of his reputation, his effort to help get Trump elected and to be part of DOGE. Tesla dealerships are being attacked and all this craziness was happening. So I can understand to a degree why Elon would be upset. However, I do think that he's handling this much like a petulant child, because while Trump may allow him to run freely in the executive branch, when it comes to passing legislation, we have other branches of government that are involved. So it's not just Trump who can play king and decide that everything must come through that Elon wants. Once again, Elon is someone who is not part of the federal government, was not elected. He can make recommendations just like any other advisor, but he didn't buy his way into becoming the ruler of America. Trump was elected as a president. We have other members of Congress and the Senate who are elected to pass bills. For Elon to act this particular way and not understand that politics is a long game and there's many hands in the pots when it comes to something like this, I think is very childish of him.
Well, both Trump and Elon Musk can act like petulant children sometimes. But Adam, do you see any way of them kissing and making up, or is the damage done?
These are temperamental men. And even more so, I would say that Elon has been more temperamental than Trump. But these are temperamental men who can change their minds on a whim. Much like a child who's having a tantrum, one moment he might be fine, the next moment he might be okay. So there's a possibility that they can resolve something, especially if there's some sort of mediator to bring them together. But in the meantime, I'm not so sure, but I don't want to overreact to one day of banter going back and forth.
And what do you make of Musk's claim that Trump is named in the Epstein files? Because I think this is probably the most disturbing part of his outburst.
So when you just put out there, oh, he's in the Epstein files, well, what do you mean by that? Are you implying that there's more information that is being withheld? Or are you just throwing that out there just to, throw a Molotov cocktail and hope and burn somebody? So I do think that that was a very irresponsible thing, but that's much of a thing that some immature person does when they're ending a relationship, burning all the bridges possible, saying, well, I didn't like you anyways, as they walk out the door. So what does he mean by that? He has yet to give any details other than saying that the truth will come out. Well, how do you know the truth? And if you think that he was part of Epstein's organization or he was cool with it or whatever, why did you have your kids around him? You felt comfortable enough to have your kids around him while you knew that he was associated with Epstein, right? So there's a lot here that I don't really take seriously his claim about maybe there, or at least him implying that there's more to it than we already know.
Even the stock market seems to see the writing on the wall. Shares of Tesla are now plummeting by more than 14%. It seems Wall Street is worried that Trump might not be so friendly anymore towards the EV industry.
Well, yeah, the whole EV industry, I think, was basically made up from the very beginning because of government wants. It's one thing for Tesla because they built some sort of brand recognition. People found it technologically advanced for people to go and purchase their cars. But it's another thing to artificially grow a market that there isn't really any demand. And that's why across the country, there are EV models of vehicles that no one wants, that are overpriced, and all because they were giving subsidies to these different manufacturers. And now we have dealerships across the country who are suffering. So, I'm all for actually Trump pulling these EV subsidies. I think they're trying to mess with the car market and has actually messed up the car market.
Adam B. Coleman, thank you for your time.
Thank you.